Chris Johnson, Managing Director of Ground Operations at Southwest Airlines, one of the most recognized companies in the world. We'd like to first spend some time to talk about your day-to-day. So what does the day-to-day look like for you in this position that you have at Southwest Airlines?
As far as what my day looks like on a daily basis, there's a saying that no two days are the same in the airline industry, and that holds very true to my position. As managing director of Southwest Airlines, it is an executive position, so some of my days are spent in the executive boardroom and talking to my fellow vice presidents about running Southwest Airlines and making decisions for the future of our business. And then I also interact on a daily basis with a lot of our airports and our leadership teams in the airport to help them through complex situations that happen on a daily basis in the airports. Also in my position, I'm responsible for all of the performance metrics associated with our airport operations. I'm responsible for making sure that we run a safe airline and have a good safety culture. And another aspect of the job is being responsible for the budgeting of our ground ops and daily ops employees. So within Southwest Airlines, the ground operations and provisioning department is the largest department within Southwest Airlines. We have 20,000 employees that are within the ground ops department, and we have a yearly budget of about $2 billion.
I'll ask a quick follow-up. Why Southwest Airlines then? What is so special about this company in your own perspective?
You know, Southwest Airlines is a real special company to me. It's near and dear to my heart, and I'll reflect back to my 20s, and like many of us in our 20s, we do have to do a lot of trial and error to figure out what our passions are. And for me, I had never flown on an airplane before when I got hired by Southwest Airlines when I was 22 years old. And I had a better paying job when I was introduced to Southwest Airlines. And a friend of mine actually asked me to come over to Southwest Airlines and give it a try because he felt that my personality would fit with the culture. And immediately after being hired with Southwest Airlines, I knew it was a special company. The culture at Southwest Airlines is really strong. And one of my first interactions was actually, and this doesn't happen all the time, was meeting our CEO. And at the time it was Herb Kelleher. And he was a special person with a lively personality. And whenever he came around, not only was it business, but it was a lot of fun. And that really got me to really start pursuing Southwest Airlines as a long-term career. After working at Southwest Airlines, I also found that the way that we approach our business at Southwest Airlines is just not that we're flying people from point A to point B. Southwest Airlines is really a cause where we're connecting people to what's most important to their lives. And when you think about that, you reflect back to why are people traveling? They're traveling to see loved ones. They're traveling to the most important interview they may have in their career. They may be traveling to see a loved one before they pass away, or a funeral, or something that's going to be exciting in their lives. So once you start thinking about it in that aspect, it really is a cause, and I am proud to be part of that cause. Another thing that makes Southwest Airlines special to me, I mentioned our culture, is just the people that work at Southwest Airlines. When you work at Southwest Airlines, it feels like you truly are working with family. I've had the opportunity to work in about 13 of our airports throughout the Southwest network before working in our headquarters building. And it's just amazing the people that I've met and the good things that they do and the wonderful things that they do outside of Southwest Airlines.
Thank you for speaking with us about Southwest Airlines culture. And it was really neat how you had early interactions with Herb, one of the founders of Southwest Airlines while you were in your 20s. He's really brought so much value to that company. And that was really
Yes, he has.
Yeah, so Chris, I guess that leads us to our next question. So how important was commitment in your 20s?
Commitment was very important, and I'll reflect back to my 20s again. And I mentioned in the last question that I was trying to find my path to figure out what I wanted to do for my entire career. And I truly believe that when you're looking at what you want to do for for the longevity of your career, you have to find something that you have a passion for. You cannot just select a career that's just a 9 to 5 job that you're going to report to every day. You gotta be connected to it. So commitment was very important to me. And in your early 20s, you do have to show commitment. I commonly talk to our employees who are in their 20s, and some of them want my position from day one. And I reflect back to my early career and the opportunities that I've had. And I always make the statement that I could not be in the position that I am in and not make the decisions that I make if I wouldn't have been able to have those early opportunities where I was educated. One other thing just about commitment is when you're in your early 20s, you will have to make decisions about your career and the direction that you're going to take it in any company that you work for. And as part of that, it entails you being willing to sacrifice. And with me, the sacrifice was being flexible and being able to move to different locations to take on different, more complex positions. And that was my sacrifice, and it was my commitment to Southwest Airlines. So early on, I had a good work ethic, and I knew the importance of making sure that I showed up, and that the foundation of your career at a company is going to start when you're in your early 20s, and you have to show that commitment.
And in our generation, a lot of people, when they start a position, maybe an internship, or maybe it's their first full-time career out of college or out of high school, a lot of them think, okay, I'm not going to stay with this company. Maybe I'll stay 2, 3 years, gain some experience. And I feel like a lot of people in our generation have difficulty with that commitment. So what are some of the things that they should look for at a specific company that will want them to stay for a longer period of time? And maybe relate that back to what your experience was in your 20s at Southwest and what kept you with Southwest for such a long time.
That's a great question. Just like the interns that you just mentioned, when I started Southwest Airlines, I did not know that it was going to be my lifelong career. And some of the things that I had to go through to figure out that it was my lifelong career was, again, to really be observant and look around and figure out the culture of a company and make sure that the things that the company represent are things that are in line with your beliefs. For instance, if you're working for a company, and for instance, such as Southwest Airlines, I early on saw that they really invested in their people and they had a desire to treat people right. So that was one of the things that I latched on to. And then I think it's very important when you're just entering a company to look outside of what you're doing and look for mentors throughout the company. And the good thing about having a mentor within the company is you can never have too many. You just don't have to have one. You can have them in different disciplines of the company. And it will give you an idea of what's available for the company and how they treat their people.
In the beginning at Southwest, you had so many different roles. You were trying so many different things, and you've been able to go to many different airports that they manage. Do you think that was a key factor on why you stay committed to Southwest, because you were getting that changing experience? Because I feel some people our age, they feel like they're stuck in their position. So after that 2 to 3 year period, they feel like they've been doing the same thing and they want a new experience. So how was your experience with Southwest different?
Well, I'll answer that by saying that just going back to being able to look around the company and talk to the current employees that are there and look at some of the opportunities that they've had, it's important for you to use those opportunities to figure out your career path, and it'll help you figure out to know that there are different things that you can do within the company. And luckily, at Southwest Airlines, we're a company of 60+ thousand employees, and there are many different departments that you can work in that will give you a different view of the company. So I was lucky in that standpoint. And it does take a little bit of the individual looking within themselves and figuring it out sort of on their own, and knowing that you will have to try different things in order to figure out where you want to be within the company.
You recently spoke about the importance of making sacrifices while in your 20s. I'd like to break this down further and understand, talk to us about the jobs that you took in your 20s that maybe no one else wanted to take, but you knew that by taking it, it would help you move up the ladder at Southwest Airlines.
Okay, that's a great question for me to respond to. So when I was looking at my career at Southwest Airlines, and in the airline industry, one of the things that you have to do if you're in an airport operational position is you have to move to bigger airports in order to get a higher classification for your position and bigger opportunities. I was faced with a sacrifice decision early on in my career. I am a person that personally, I love warm weather, and I was directing my career to work in a sunny state. I wanted to go to Florida. One of the opportunities that came open for me was to come to our Oakland station as the assistant station leader. When I reflect back on that decision, I had never been to California at that time. I was still a young man, had never been to California. I heard the stories of how expensive California was. And I also knew that the Oakland station was one of the most complex stations for Southwest Airlines. It was over 100 flights a day. We had a large employee base there, and it was very complex. So it was one of the hardest stations that you could select to work to. So I was offered an opportunity to go to Oakland. And after a lot of consideration, I chose to take that position. And it was the best decision of my career, because not a lot of people would raise their hand and go to an expensive cost of living and a complex station. So I did that, and I went there, and it afforded me a few things. It afforded me internally the opportunity to prove to myself my leadership skills and my ability to lead a complex operation. And then the next thing that it did is it put all of our leaders at Southwest Airlines on notice to say that you could put Chris Johnson in any station at Southwest Airlines and he will still perform well. He will engage with the employees and make sure that we have a safe environment and a great travel experience for our customers. So after that experience of working in Oakland, I was offered several positions after that where I did not have to apply for positions. Leadership actually approached me for positions because they were confident that I could handle anything that they would offer me. So it was the career decision that actually catapulted my career, and it's probably one of the decisions that put me in the position that I am now.
I really have so much respect for your story. You are the embodiment of our influential person. I mean, who we want to speak with in their 20s. Just hearing about, all of the sacrifices that you made in your 20s, all of the achievements that you had in your 20s as well, to prove that you could take on more complex roles and tasks. It's really amazing. So we really appreciate speaking with you today.
Well, I appreciate both of you taking the time too. This was an honor for me. And just the thing that I think about when I think about our future leaders that are in their 20s is they are our future. You guys are the future of America. And it's so important for you to succeed and make sure that you're continuing to excel in your career and taking those opportunities to be successful. So thank both of you, and I appreciate the time.